Cowgirl Kind is a beef tallow skincare business based on high quality, small batches made with care and intention. All ingredients are carefully and thoughtfully sourced for the highest quality. It is an incredibly effective product. Cowgirl Kind is locally owned and handmade by Melinda Kirkby. Visit cowgirlkind.com. At Dylan's Performance Horses, we specialize in rein cow horse training that brings out the best in your horse. Whether it's a young prospect or a seasoned bridle horse, we will build a training program designed to fit your horse's needs. With locations in Parma, Idaho, and Wickenburg, Arizona, we can build on your investment year-round. Find us on Facebook at Dylan's Performance Horses, LLC. So, how's everything been going?
You know what? Things have been awesome. Besides the amount of stress I feel like I have with everything that's going, I can't complain about it because, oh my God, things are just the best they've ever been. And not just business-wise, but everything's good. It was kind of funny. I joked with my mom the other day because she's like, just don't forget us little people. I'm like, Mom, I would never do that. But I always wanted to be in this spot. And I know it's not the exact spot I always really wanted because, in my dreams, I don't want the snaffle bit by now or, done stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm making a name and it takes so much time and it takes more time than I could have ever imagined. And your reputation is everything. Mm-hmm. And, the person that you are. And I like that person. And yeah, things are good. Business is good. People are coming. I feel like I'm helping people with their horses or it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things, it's all falling together. And that's just the best feeling. When people ask that, I'm like, oh, that's just so good. There's no time to be I can't tell you all the things that are going on right now, but in my mind at the same time, things are just awesome.
That's excellent. That's what we all hope for.
Besides
right?
being stressed out. Yeah. But I can't complain about that.
Success can be as stressful as failure sometimes in some ways.
Yeah.
Just the overwhelming sense to get as much done as you can and never stop moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like the difference for me at this point is I've always been the person I paid cash for everything. Now I'm financed and I've got a handful of things financed and that's a lot more weight on your shoulders. It really is.
It's unfortunately in our current society a necessary evil when you're talking about building an equine facility, owning property.
Yeah.
Who's got $1 million laying around in cash to go?
Wasn't that the American dream? Is being financed out your ears?
Oh my gosh.
That's what they tell us.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah.
Is what they convince us. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really good. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here on the podcast today. Welcome everybody to Non-Pro in the Know. We're spending the afternoon with Dylan Sponseller here in Parma, Idaho at her equine facility. She's a rein cow horse trainer. If you haven't heard of her yet, then I'm surprised because she's been pretty hot in the industry. Lots of success over the last couple of years and growth, and had the pleasure of having dinner with her the other night in Winnemucca after the horse show there, and started telling stories, and I just looked at her and said, please stop talking, we need to go get the microphones. And so here we are. We got the microphones, and we're going to go back over some of the stuff we already talked about and dive much deeper into all kinds of other interesting facts and information. So we're glad you're all tuning in, and I really appreciate you taking the time and
happy to
giving
be here.
us the opportunity to hear your story. I've gotten to witness your career grow over the last couple of years and had the opportunity to ride with you, and I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. I see how hard you're working and you're trying to do it right. And I think that people need to know more about that process.
So, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So talking about all the success you've got going on right now, since the last time I've been here, you've done a ton of adding on and improvements to this facility. Mm-hmm. And then in addition, you purchased a place in Arizona too, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I bought 5 acres right outside of Wickenburg. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How's that been going?
Oh, I'm excited. We I've kind of got the pleasure of spending like the last 4 out of 5 years in Arizona, and I'm just in love with it. Like, the weather's nice. Like, you have a handful of days that you lose, but there, some rain days or there's some wind. But Arizona is amazing, especially where we rope also. Like, it's just fun to be there. Like, it's like a intoxicating environment because it's a luxury place. Like, people aren't there to work like we are, so it makes it a little bit harder to where like everybody's like, well, let's go do something. I'm like, well, I really have to sit and ride, but it's awesome. Like, everybody's there. It's vacation to where nobody knows what day of the week it is. Like, it's a happy place to be around. And I had kind of gone over building an indoor here, and the cost of what they wanted to build just to cover over my cutting pen was ridiculous. And basically, it was cheaper for me to buy that place down there and to build the facility, just the facility, not a house or anything like that, but than it was to do it here. And at the end of the day, if you have an indoor here, the weather's still cold and it sucks outside.
Yeah,
So,
that's the truth.
I mean, it just seemed better.
Yeah. Man, you're living the dream in my
Yeah.
eyes. Like, I've
It's
always
awesome.
said, someday that is my dream. To be
Yeah.
able to,
My friends hate me in the wintertime. They're like, don't call me, don't text me. Like, unless it's snowing in Arizona, we don't want to hear from you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're inviting me to come visit, I don't want to talk to you.
We don't want to talk to you. Yeah. It's just so much fun down there. Like, there's ropings every day of the week if a guy wanted to go, but it's just, the weather's awesome.
There is some hot spots in the cow horse industry down there in that time of year too, isn't there?
There is. It's more of in Scottsdale area, I think. There's not a ton of cow horse guys in or like around Wickenburg. We're kind of on the way to Gila, but it's starting to grow. Like, JD Johnson's down there, Jason Gay. Like, there's starting to be a handful of guys coming. Zane Davis just bought a place to where, I mean, I think they're all kind of tired of the cold, and you can go there and you can do so much. And like, JD ropes, so like we see him at the rope-ins or whatever, but I mean, it's getting to be bigger, especially with the rope horse fraternities, and I think it's only going to get bigger. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't look to be slowing
no,
down.
and I think a person buying in now is going to be so much ahead of the game come when all of the rope horse stuff takes off more, and it's getting to be a bigger thing in the industry to own a place there.
There's so much money in the roping world right now, especially for those lower numbered ropers. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I mean, you go to those jackpots down there, like the bigger ones that Ty Yost holds, and oh man, like the money that's thrown into the big money roping, or, some of his bigger, at the Rancho Rio that he has, like, not remembering some of the name of the ropings that are big money, but man, like, it's awesome. Like, you can go down there and you can go rope for $10,000-$15,000. Like,
crazy.
That's awesome. Like, to go win it, split $7,000 with your partner. Like,
Heck yeah.
I'm not gonna do that in the cow horse world.
No, unfortunately, that's
No.
hard to do.
Yeah.
It is really is, especially like, I mean, it may be a little easier for an open rider, not a lot, but man, for a non-pro to win that kind of
Yeah.
money is
Yeah.
almost impossible, honestly.
No, I mean, it's fun. Like, Jared and I talk about it all the time because we have a big difference in there between, we pay to put our events on and the cow horse, but those guys, man, they have some steers and arena, and there's so much added money, like, going to the world finale and being able to rope for $400,000 or $500,000 with your partner. Like, I've never backed in a box and thought,
Wow.
oh my God, we could be roping for
Yeah.
$250,000 a man. Like, that's an unreal feeling. Like, I could say any cow horse event feels that way, but backing in the box right there, that's
Yeah, you better be tuning that money out. You better not be thinking about
that's
that
a different
money.
feeling when you're roping for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's very intense. That industry is growing so fast, and there's so much money backing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just saw the fraternity horse that sold
1.7.
1.7 million.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's insane.
Life-changing,
Yeah.
insane money. Yeah.
I keep looking for those people, but they haven't come yet.
Man, I got some horses for sale, especially for 1.7.
I'll sell anything you want here. Just come by. I might
Come
sell
on
them
by.
all for
You can
1.7.
have all of them for
All of them.
1.7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's really cool. It's really cool. Well, I would really like to kind of dive into your backstory and let people know what got you to the point you're in, because you've got one of those stories that's very inspirational. You had to overcome a lot, And I think it's good to hear that it doesn't have to be handed to you. You don't have to have
Yeah.
the 1.7 million sitting in the bank to go buy the fancy horses to get to where you're
No.
at now.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us, where did it all begin?
Oh gosh. So my mom had bought a ranch when I was 2. And like, my mom is probably like the toughest person I know. Like, when people think that I'm tough, I'm like, God, you guys have not met my mom. Like, my mom was one of the first women loggers there ever was. She logged trees for many years. And she bought a ranch with a 2-year-old kid, being a single mom.
Wow.
And gosh, like growing up on the ranch was, I mean, it was all I knew, but I can remember like watching other kids get toys and fun things for Christmas, and like, I got hay hooks and mud boots, and like, it just wasn't the same. Like, I was just like, I didn't understand at the time, but I'm like, all these other kids get all these cool things, and like, now I'm just getting like, I'm getting hay hooks and mud boots. Like, this sucks. Like, I'm 13. Like, this sucks. Mm-hmm. But I can remember days that, you know, I can remember those days of my mom talking in the kitchen, like overhearing me. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to eat next month. Like, cows are down. Like, we're broke. Like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I pride my mom a lot on the things that she taught me. Like, I thought it was really tough being a kid because she made me pay for a lot of my own things as I got older. And I just didn't understand. Like, nobody else that I'd been around had to do that. Like, at 9, they bought me a pony. My mom and her boyfriend, they would have been married, but he was really sick, so they didn't get married. But I always call him her husband. Mm-hmm. And his name was Jess. And they bought me a pony, and I trained that pony. And Jess and my dad helped me, and I sold the pony for $600. And so, like, I'm like, all right, like, this was fun. Like, she was evil. Her name was Angel. She was so evil.
Her name was Angel.
It was so bad. And I bought another pony and sold that one for more money. And, like, I just kept buying them and selling them. Like, and all of a sudden, like, I got to a teenager, and it was like, I have a handful of horses at the ranch. And I was homeschooled through my junior high and high school. It was so much better being at home. Like, I loved the ranch. I loved being at home. So I was homeschooled from there on out. And my mom gave me so much opportunity. Like, she may not have given me the materialistic things, but she gave me opportunity. She taught me what business was. Yeah. I mean, even as a 13, 15-year-old girl, like, my mom taught me what business was. You pay for the hay that your horses ate while they were here. You bought them for that price. You sold them for this price. Like, well, that's your profit. Like, perfect. It was just so different than any other kid had. Mm-hmm. And
I love that, though. Instead of buying you Chinese plastic, she instilled values and
she did.
And education in you. I mean, how valuable, right? Like, like that Chinese plastic ended up in a landfill somewhere.
Yeah. And as a teenager, it really sucked because I just wanted to be like everybody else so bad. And like that, I think that was always my flaw as a kid. Like, I wanted that normal life, but that was the only life I knew, but it wasn't, getting toys and stuff like that. But, so Jess died when I was 11.
Oh. Would you mind me asking what was he ill with?
So he had emphysema. Oh. Basically, he used to work he used to run cows by Shasta and I can't remember the name of the dirt over there, but basically it's really bad on your lungs, and he had emphysema, and we had gone to work cows one day, and I came home and found him, and it was just like the watching my mom, just like, so many things crushed my mom harder than it ever crushed me. Mm-hmm. Like, we lived 3 miles down a dirt road, so of course by the time an ambulance could get there, like, it had been a long time. And we lived,
that's devastating,
20 miles from town. Like, it was a while. Wow. But Jess was huge. Like, I always kind of smile nowadays, though. Like, Jess was very handy with horses. Like, I never really got to see that side of him because he was so sick when I was young, but I just know that he would be like so proud because like I did something with horses, and that was something he really like wanted to see. Like the only memory I really ever remember, and I have to say this because it's funny, is like he walked out of the house one day and I was screwing with the goats. And he's like, don't do what I think you're doing. Well, he left and I did. I harnessed that goat up and hooked it to a red wagon, and like goat runs off, runs under the fence, scrapes me off, like, and like Jess comes out and he spanks me for doing exactly what he said not to. And years later, my mom finally told me, she goes, he laughed so hard that you did that. And I'm like, it was a goat to a red wagon. Like, this was perfect. Like, how could this not go wrong?
This is going to be amazing.
This is going to be amazing.
Best thing I've ever done.
But Jess was awesome. Like, Jess had, oh man, he was just a horseman back in his time. And I wish I could know him now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But basically from there on out, like my dad was a part of my life. My dad and my mom were never married, so they were just kind of dating, and I kind of happened, or however you want to put it. But my dad was in my life till I was 16, and he had a heart attack when we were working cows.
Oh, wow.
So just kind of one of those things of, back then there was no cell phones, so someone had to ride home and call the ambulance.
So where were you living during all this?
Alturas, California.
Okay.
My mom bought a ranch there, so we basically were on the ranch.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said your mom was a blogger and then bought the ranch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your mom is very unique in a
Yeah.
great way, like in a wonderful way. What were her parents like to give her the skills and the fortitude? I mean, I was gonna say balls. The balls to take on those careers.
I honestly don't really know much about him. I've never met her dad, and her mom died when I was little. But it kind of sounded like my mom was the youngest, and her and her dad really didn't get along very well. And Lillian, her mother, was a part of her life, but kind of, I don't know, just basically mom ran away from home, ran off to Taylorsville, logged trees there, and she was from Alameda, California. Yeah.
Wow. Talk about
A ways
brave
from, yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
That's brave.
Yeah. So I really don't know much about any like of the family as much. Like I did meet some of my dad's family after he passed that I had no idea that I had. But kind of just family was not really ever a big thing. It was just kind of mom and me. Like it was just us.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a half sister
Okay.
that I found after my dad died that never knew I existed.
Oh, wow.
Her name's Dorothy. She's awesome. She's quite a bit older than I am. But for finding a long lost sister at 16, like I couldn't ask for a better family to bring into my life.
That's cool. So you guys are still in contact?
Yeah. Yep. After dad died, legally, I had to notify her because she got half of whatever he had, which was nothing. And I had left home at that point, and I conned some poor police officer into sending her a letter because they wouldn't give out any information. And I was in Outwater at the time, and a police officer was just so good to me. He's like, I can't give you an address. I'm like, can you just mail it to her? Like, our dad died. Like, I'm just trying to notify this woman that I don't know and let her know that our dad died. And he's like, just leave it with me and I'll see what I can do. And she tells me that they got it and read it, and we wrote some letters. We talked on the phone a couple times, and we finally, a few years later, met in Reno. And now I see her every year. Like, and her nieces just graduated Boise State, and they're awesome. She was in the Marines just like dad, and it's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's nice to have some family.
It is.
Even if it's not conventional.
No, and like not being conventional, like, I guess I don't know any different, but at the same time, man, like I couldn't have found a better sibling. Like she's straightforward, she's fun, she's outspoken, like she fits in, or I fit in just fine. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like some similarities
Yes.
between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. And it sounds like you and your mom are still very close.
Yep, mom and I are very close. She actually finally sold the ranch about 4 years ago when she asked if I was ever coming home, and I said no. And I know her dream was to leave me the ranch, but I just told her to sell it and spend it. It wasn't my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're making your dreams come true, so it worked out the way it was supposed to.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, when tell me more about your life on the ranch. Like, you guys ran cattle.
Yep. So my mom had a couple hundred head of cows in the end. As I was younger, I don't know how many exactly we had, but we had a couple hundred head of cows, and my mom kind of gave me the opportunity that she gave me a calf, and of course I, would keep another one or however, and homeschooling really gave me an opportunity to spend a pile of time with my mom. And at that age, as a teenager, like, I was my mom's right-hand man, and we took care of a lot of cattle for other people. Basically, I mean, besides our cows, as we were making a living on that, excuse me, we day worked for a lot of people, and that was kind of how we paid the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we would go, Mom was thrilled to have me because I could go help her doctor cattle and whatnot.
Well, it made you handy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still very handy, and those skills pay off for you in the long run, for
Thanks.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what happened what led you to leaving the ranch and kind of going out onto your own? What was that like?
When I hit 16, being on homeschool, I had kind of buckled down and graduated early. And I just couldn't look at the ranch the same, and I couldn't look at the town. Like, everything that just haunted me with the sight of things that happened there, I just felt like I had to leave.
Yeah.
And so I graduated, and I have no idea how I got this job, but some guy hired me in Atwater, and I basically left home.
Yeah. What was the job?
I had a cow camp job. It was supposed to be me and another guy, but he got fired before he got there. So when I showed up down there, we had a bunch of yearlings and a bunch of pairs, and I had a camper, and I took some horses and my dogs down there, and that was my job. I was taking care of them. Yeah.
At 16?
Yep.
Holy mackerel.
Yep. It was a subcontracted job, but the cattle guy was Greg Harlan. He owned all the cattle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just kind of took a chance on a 16-year-old girl. Or did he know your reputation from your childhood?
The subcontractor hired me. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, and Greg didn't know, and I spent the summer there, and I had basically gotten fired for some nonsense with the guy that hired me's kid that showed up, and he tried to hire me back, and I was like, no, I'm done. Like, basically, I can't deal with your kid, like,
Right.
wanting to be around a girl that's not his wife, and just not one of those things.
Well, that's a tricky
Being a young
scenario.
girl.
Being a young,
Yeah.
young, beautiful female, like, you're kind of walking into some odd situations, I'm sure.
It was hard, like, being away from home. Like, I just remember down there, like, I was so happy to be away, but I had no idea how to deal with everything that was going through my head. And I would do my job in the daytime, and unfortunately I would drink in the evenings, and it was very unhealthy.
Well, you kind of got thrust into a very adult life very early, and I kind of have a similar, and unfortunately you do try to act more grown up than you maybe should, and sometimes as a young person you equate that to drinking or whatever, smoking cigarettes or whatever the case was at the time, you know what I mean? So that's a hard path at that age. It's like you've been given the freedom of an adult, but maybe you're not quite ready for it yet. And that's a hard thing to admit to ourselves, for sure.
It was tough. Like, I just, like, a person wanted someone to talk to, but like at that time in my life, like, my mom was dealing so much with her own stuff, and I kind of got, like, slipped through the cracks right there of not seeing what was happening with me. But God, I mean, like, looking back now, like, I can't imagine being her and being there for all the things, like.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own stuff to deal with, for sure.
I mean, like, for her, like, she feels like she let me down.
Yeah.
Like, I let everybody die. Like, you didn't let them die. Like, you couldn't save them. But for her, like, it's different. And I can't imagine having that weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's a heavy burden
Yeah.
to carry, for sure. And that will definitely make you lose sight of what's going on around you if you get wrapped up in something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough role, and it sounds like your mom has been through a lot and a tough woman.
Yeah.
So I'm sure looking back on it now, I'm sure she's got a good sense of pride and things, and I'm sure that that's tough.
Yeah.
But you turned out great, right? And
Who'd have thought?
you know, like I've always believed that the things that were challenging for me in life have been the things that made me who I am the most, right? Like the easy times are not the times that mold you.
No.
It's the hard times that mold you into who you are and give you that sense of work ethic and determination and no quit and so, you know, while those things are tough and your mom or whoever puts you in those positions may have guilt, like at least you can go, yeah, but I'm better essentially because of it in the long run.
No, I like that is like my dad used to always say, like, everything that happens to you in life is going to make you stronger. And like that is something I've always remembered because he was so right. And like whether, you know, like there had been tragedy as a kid or some unforsaken things that did happen, like, man, it's made me who I am. And like I do truly actually enjoy the person that I am. And I think that's so important. And I've spent so much time alone over the years of my life. And as some people would say, I don't know how you sit in this arena all day by yourself, but like, I'm okay with me. Like,
Right.
I'm good. Like, I'm good with myself. I can be alone. Like, it molds you in the person that you are. And I wouldn't change that as I'm older now.
No, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And it's funny because sometimes the hard things that creep up on you later in life, you're like, this is nothing. You know what I mean?
Nothing,
Like
yeah.
when you're like, oh no, and then you can be like, oh, that's funny. Like
Yeah.
this really isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, the things that may bother some people don't bother you as much because
Right.
you've lived through greater boundaries and had to get over bigger hurdles. So yeah. And you can tell it in your personality, and I can tell it in the way that you've grown your business and stuff. Like you're strong and you're empowered, and none of that stuff matters now. Yeah.
It seems like small things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It does.
At the time, it seemed really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you wrap up your first cow camp job there, and where do you head next?
So from there, I met some people, and they kind of took me in until I could find another job. They were super nice. And actually, I still talk to Stoney to this day. Like he kind of took me in with his girlfriend back then. She killed herself not too long after I'd left. So like that was kind of unfortunate, but they took me in, and I ended up getting a colt starting job in Big Oak Flat. And it's kind of just an odd deal, but the guy that hired me was friends with my dad's ex-wife because it was close to a Chinese camp where my dad worked for a long time.
Okay.
So he took me over there to meet Robin Literal, which is, you know, not awkward at all. That was my dad's ex-wife. And here I am, just some kid showing up. They're like, hey guys. But she was super nice. And like, it was awesome. Like one of my cousins lived over there. So I got time to spend there and I don't know, just kind of like be a part of like where he was at like a time in his life.
Did it make you feel like you got to know him a little better?
Yeah, it did. Like Bob McDowell was who I worked for, and he would tell me stories like, me and your dad, we used to sneak into Yosemite and we would like pack into the mountains. And I'm like, you guys are awesome. Like, that's so cool to like pack back in there and go see things. And
Beautiful country.
yeah, like just, it was something different that I'd never seen.
Right.
Yeah.
New stories, new perspective
Yeah.
on who he was.
Yep. No, it was really neat. Like I had stayed there and started a bunch of colts for Bob McDowell. And then when I finished that deal for him, I ended up coming home and ended up getting a job at the ZX.
Wow.
And I could be wrong, but I am still so certain I was hired as a joke for Wade Cooper. Like, I'm pretty sure it was kind of like, I don't know, like I just didn't see it happening, but I'm like, that's cool. Like I can prove myself. Like that's not a big deal. And Wade was awesome. Like I just could see like Wade and the person that he was and how handy he truly was. And like, he taught me to rope horses off the ropes, and he was just good. Like, Wade was good to me. Even if it started out a joke, like, it didn't end a joke.
How old were you still 16 or are you 17 now?
I was 17. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, which he didn't know because he met me in the bar.
That's funny.
Of course, so they all thought I was 21 and nobody checked on my paperwork,
Yeah.
what I wrote down, because they just met me in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I worked there for, I think, 8 months, and it was great. Like, Wade sent me home with some horses, and he had me show one to keep another one, and I ended up riding one day a horse called Bones. I had kind of spoke up in the cavy, and I was like, God, that horse looks really cool. And Wade's like, oh, he's cool. He's in your string. I'm like, oh, okay. So I get back to the bunkhouse and like ask the guys, I'm like, so like, anybody want to fill me in? Like, oh yeah, no, his name's Bones for a reason. Like, he's broken bone on everybody that's ever been here. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Gosh.
And he's like, probably ought to go ride him tonight before you ride him tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Like, probably ought to go down there. And like, I got along with this horse. Like, I kind of had him figured out and could get by him. And when I left, Wade gave me that horse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he gave him to me, and he sent me home with another mare that he gave me. Yeah.
Wow.
And Wade told me, I ever want to come back, I was always welcome. But Wade was good to me.
Tell me about some experiences you had while you were there. I mean, talk about a cool opportunity.
Oh, they were so mean to me.
Oh, I bet they were.
I was
17-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was the girl, and like the comments, like growing up, oh man, I wanted to be handy. And those guys back then, like, they weren't very nice.
Yeah.
You know, like, you should be in the kitchen. Like, they would try to get you hurt. Like, there was a lot of things that was not fun on a day-to-day basis. But I just wanted it. And, like, I wasn't going to let them stop me. Like, regardless of how it was, like, I just wanted it so bad.
Good for you.
And being there, like what makes it all worth it is, to this day, like, I am literally a joke to, like, when Wade says, I had a girl that could shoe and ride better than you. Like, that was worth every penny.
Right.
Every moment there, like, was worth the fact that he still says that to people. Because how do you think that makes those boys feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
a girl that could outshoe you and
I love
outride
that.
you. Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But there was a lot of not so fun days. Like, those guys, like, they just wanted to see you struggle. They wanted you to quit so bad.
Yeah.
That's what they really wanted.
Yeah. They wanted you to prove
Yeah.
that it was too hard for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my mom had a boyfriend, Pete, and he had open heart surgery, and I had to go home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had gone home and kind of had to take care of the ranch while all that happened.
Wow.
And I had gone to one other job afterwards. I worked at the PX for a while, and it was gosh, I can't remember the people that had it. But I worked for Jeannie and Eddie King, and they were awesome. And I kind of just stopped by to see some friends at the moment. And Tyler had conned Haynes Holman into letting me ride one day, and he's like, we can't have girls around here. Like, and Tyler was just a really good friend of mine that I grew up with, and he let me come ride for the day, and he hired me.
Nice.
So that was pretty fun. Like, Haynes was kind of one of the handier guys I'd seen at that time. So he kind of stuck out to me, knowing that, like, all right, like, you're fairly handy right here. Like, I kind of want to be like you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like, I got to stay there a little bit, and I was the first girl that ever worked at the PX and the ZX. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So when but I came home and I took care of the ranch, and man, I honestly, I just kind of got stuck there for a long time. The guy I ended up working for in Atwater, Greg Harlan, when I did get basically fired down there, he kind of caught on to what was happening, and he told me if I ever wanted a job to call him. He'd give me a job wherever he was. And I ended up working for Greg Harlan for 9 years in Alturas.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
Yeah.
Run cattle operation.
Yep, running cattle. We took care of we had about 10,000 yearlings throughout the year in Davis Creek at what we call the Lakeshore Ranch. And then we had about 25 head of yearlings that me and one other guy would take care of.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
Yep. We worked a lot together and took care of a lot of horses.
Yeah.
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 Or cattle, not horses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was listening to my horse kick the
Yeah.
fence out there. I was thinking,
Somebody's angry.
Yes.
Yeah. So were you doing much like colt starting and things like that at that time as well?
At that point, like I was just kind of riding some for myself right there. To kind of back up right there, like my mom had taken me to the snaffle bit when I was 14
To watch.
to watch the finals when it used to be in Reno. And I had kind of like just walked in for the day and I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Greatest
Like,
thing
this
ever.
is what I want. Like, God, I was so sold on the environment. And so then when I came home with, I was 14 and like everything had happened and I kind of lost sight of everything that I wanted with life. And I basically was kind of stuck in Alturas and we would go to Reno. I don't know, I was probably 19 or 20 the first year we went, and I would go try to buy one. And so I bought at 19, or no, I guess I was 20. I'd kind of bought a yearling there and tried that. And of course it, didn't work out very well, but like it was kind of only funds I had, was to kind of spend there. So through the years, we would kind of make it like a vacation. Like we would literally go to Reno to the snaffle bit for a day or two and I would go try to buy something. And so in 22, I bought one and it was Shining Mirabella. And literally my mom and I were sitting in the front row and she's bringing like $3,500. And I'm like, what's wrong with this thing? Like, mom's like, I don't know. Like back then, like I didn't even know what x-rays were. Like,
right.
I
Yeah.
had no
You're just like,
idea.
eh.
I'm like, she's bringing $3,500.
She's got four legs. She's not limping.
Like, we're good. And so I get this mare bought for $4,700 and like go back to the stall and like we look at her and she's a 2-year-old. Like she'd been ridden. And I'm like, God, like I don't even know. Like, what's wrong with her? So we get her home and like I read her, I hate her. She's like riding a fart in the wind, like can't focus, like not fun. And like I had all these dreams of like, I just bought my first 2-year-old, like we're going to the snaffle bit, like we're doing it. And we would, I just kind of called it one day and I was like, you're going to the cowboy crew. Like we're going to day work.
You did show her though,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yep. So I ended up cowboying on her the whole rest of the 2-year-old year. Into her 3-year-old year, and she kind of started to come around. And I was like, we're going. So, of course, like at that time in my life, like I had quit riding outside horses because I had rode a handful of them just when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And we thought that not knowing what I was doing and kind of being on my own, like starting as a non-pro would be a good call. Yeah. So I quit riding outside horses for a while, and of course, I missed the whole sign-up deal because I had no idea you had to start making payments in February. Mm-hmm. So I paid the late fee, and I entered the amateur, and we went, and it was not the ideal trip. Like, the rain work was, I didn't know much back then, and I was just, I was kind of on my own, and I just didn't know what to do.
Rain work's hard.
It was so hard, like just getting through the whole event, not knowing like my first time. Like this is my first time.
And you picked the snaffle bit. Like you just went.
We just went. Like there was no schooling, there was no beginner shows,
no club show,
nothing.
Greener than grass, nothing like that.
Like our first time out was the snaffle bit.
It's insane.
Like it was just, looking back now, I'm like, God, that poor girl, like just set her up to fail. But we survived the herd work and the rain work, and I won the fence work.
That's crazy.
And I marked a 218 on her, and we ended up winning 6th, and I won a check.
That's amazing.
And I was just like sold. Like I don't know how we're gonna do the rest of it, but like we're doing it.
This is it.
And I had a couple other ones in the past years, and I was pretty close to making the finals one year, and he fell down the fence, and that was just like devastating. And I had met a guy in the meantime, Brandon Stabler. He had moved to Klamath Falls, Oregon, which was only like an hour and a half from us. So I would literally just go camp out at his place. And I would go up there and be like, "Okay, I'm coming for like 3 or 4 days. Like, we're riding him, you know?" And like, he had an arena. Like, that was something I didn't have. Like, I was just riding in the sagebrush thinking like, we're going to go to the snaffle bit. Like, what was I thinking back then?
Well, it didn't turn out too bad.
It didn't turn out too bad, but I mean, God, Brandon was great. Like, he would let me come up there and we work cows and he would help me. And like, I can just remember getting Brandon alone and be like, okay, I have so many questions. Like,
Oh man, yeah.
like how are they so shiny? Like, how come their hair's not sunburnt? Like, I can remember asking the stupidest questions, but I had nobody. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, you don't. I mean,
no
you don't know
idea.
until somebody teaches you.
I had no idea back then. And Brandon was like, oh my God, he won the snaffle bit. Like, he was a world champion at one point in his life. And like, have him all to myself in this pickup ride for like 4 hours. Like, the amount of questions I can ask, like, but it was good. Like, oh God, the getting ready for that and like knowing what I know now and like what happened then. Oh my God. Like,
Do you almost feel like though that the whole ignorance was bliss at that point situation? Because
yeah.
it probably really, you probably maybe were able to control your nerves a little better, maybe not second guess yourself so much. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like the more I learn, the more I'm in my head.
Yeah, like I don't even remember like what I was feeling. I was going in there. Like, the fence work has always been like my most confident event, to where I've shown like in the ranch horse classes, ranch rodeo and everything right there, to where like I've done that a lot longer, but I don't remember what I was feeling. I just I was just praying like, God, I hope we get through it. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, I'm just some young kid out here thinking that like I'm going to play with the big dogs and like the non-pro, and I just didn't know. You know, Brandon was a huge help. Like, Brandon really like helped me along the way, and like he helped me over the next 3 or 4 years. Like, I'd had a couple other futurity horses and I'd had some success on that mare again at the pre-futurity. We won the amateur derby and we're second in the intermediate and the non-pro, and then we won the, I don't know, whatever used to be the third class right there, but we had some success right there. And I remember Brandon, he was there the first couple days with me, and he tells Lance, he's like, this girl can cut, like, just go pick her some cows. And like, I went in there and I totally bombed it. Lance is like, thought you said she could cut. And I'm like, and Brandon's like, yeah, well, you know,
Not today.
Not today. And Brandon had to go home, and he asked Lance, he's like, hey, would you just like be there when she goes down the fence? Like, just do it. And like, I just remember like my cow came out and he was kind of wild, and like I hit him a few times, and I'm like, we're going. I'm like, I never hear anybody say a word. And like, I come out and like, we're waiting for my score, and Lance is like, I was going to tell you to go, but you were going.
Is this Lance Johnson too?
Yeah.
And he's not one to stay and box long
No,
either, so you
no.
must have just cracked it back and forth and
And
went.
Lance is like, I was going to tell you to go, but like, you didn't really need me. Like, you were going. And like, they announced my score, and I was a 222 and a half. And I would like,
cow.
like came from the back and just won a pile of money. And it was so fun. Like, I can remember sitting outside riding around, and I'll never forget this just because it was great. But like, there's this guy like walking around. It's Russell Deal Day. And I'm like, I have no idea what this guy's doing, but like, he's walking behind me, like looking around. And I'm like, are you looking for somebody? Yeah, I'm looking for Dylan Sponseller. She needs an award photo, or he needs an award photo. And I'm like, well, I'm Dylan. And, and he just looks at me, where the hell did you come from? And I'm like, Alturas, California? Like, I didn't even know how to answer this.
You mean like this morning?
Yeah,
or like
I don't really know how to answer this, but he's like, huh, wow, yeah, I saw that fence run. All I could hear was your rowels. Like, just like, it was just something like, where'd you come from? Like, I just.
and another fence
Yeah.
giant. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Russell does it like his hair's on fire.
I know.
So
Yes. It
that's
was
awesome.
just like this huge compliment, like in my mind. And like, we had like all lined up for this award photo, and I won a couple buckles and everything. And I was super excited. And like, those guys, they sit over there, and he's like, don't you have anything for the photo? And I'm like, no, nobody came down here with you. And I'm like, no, I'm just here by myself. well, didn't Lance just sit at your fence? And I'm like, well, yeah, but like, I don't really know Lance that well. He yells at Lance, Lance, get over here, get in this photo. And like, so Lance is in my photo.
That's awesome.
Like but I didn't know anybody. Like I went down there just to want to play the game and didn't have a freaking clue what I was doing.
So brave. That's awesome.
But I mean, the non-pro was like, I'm glad I started there. Like, if I'd have known what I know now, like I could have started in the bottom of the open, but I had no idea. Like, it was just not having a clue and not having anybody to like point you in the right direction. Like, I had no idea. It was just winging it.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by 27 Equine Marketing, the Northwest's premier equine photography and videography company, specializing in conformation and black background photos, as well as quality show reels and sell videos. For premium content, contact us to highlight your equestrian program. 27 Productions, creating digital content for the Western world. From music videos to Western wear and product promotion, we create engaging materials that connect with your audience.
So, you have your big win, you get your win photo with Lance, and what's next in your list of adventures?
So basically I'd bought a place in Alturas, and I'd been there for about 6 years overall, but the next year we had a futurity horse, and I bought her at the 2-year-old sale.
Love it.
For my budget. And we went back the next year with a 3-year-old, and I won the non-pro, swept all the way down.
Holy mackerel.
And right after that, Telford had called, and I had saw him that spring at the Red Bluff Bull and Gelding sale, and Telford offered me a job. And of course I'm just like, no, but thanks. Like, no. And that summer, my best friend shot himself of 11 years, and he was having a hard time. And I was trying to figure out like what the next step was. And I just kind of told myself, like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, this was not my dream. My dream was not to be an Alturas, was not to shoe horses and cowboy and take care of everybody else's things. Like, my dream was to do something, and like, I need to do something. So I called Telford back that spring, and I'm like, hey, like, does the job still stand? Yep, job still stands. And I'm like, okay, like, it's going to take me a while to get there, like 6-7 months. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I have a place to sell. I have cows to sell. I have an entire life I built right here to get rid of. And Telford was great. He's like, yep, sounds good. Just let me know when you can be here. And I ended up getting rid of everything. And I moved up here, and we leased a house from Califatics, which love them. They're super good to us. And I went to work for Jake, and I've had Lyme's disease for a long time. In some of my roundabouts of working cattle, I used to work for a guy named Jerry Kresge at the auction yard, and he used to ship us down to Red Bluff every spring to go ship cattle back from the valley up north. And I'd gotten bit by a tick years ago, and like didn't really think nothing of it. But as I was 21 when I got bit, but I hadn't felt very good for years. And I finally went to the doctor when I was 26, and I had lost movement in my hands. And I'm like, God, something's wrong. Like, I don't feel good, but something's wrong. And I hate doctors, so it's like something's bad if I go to a doctor.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and this traveling doctor, she's like, God, I want to test your thyroid and your Lyme's. And I'm like, well, whatever. Like, I have no idea what that is, but sounds good. And my Lyme's came back positive, and she's like, at the test, she goes, I don't know how long you've had that, but it's been a long time. She goes, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, well, at this point, like, I work at the sale yard, and I day work, and I shoe horses. Like, so I'm basically working. Like, I size them a foot, I sort them, I sex them, and then I get a horse back and I feed them for the sale. Like, that is my job. And we are here till 1 a.m. sometimes, like when they're feeder sales. And she just looked at me, and she's like, I have no idea how you're doing as good as you're doing, but whatever you're doing, don't stop, because you should not be doing anything at this point. And I feel like that was something that always kind of stuck with me, and the fact that like her saying that, like, I'm not going to let it get to me, because if I do, like, it's going to slow me down.
Yeah.
And when I went to work for Telford's, like, it was just late nights, like driving there, working, getting home, like not being on my own schedule. It's kind of started to really get to me. And I talked to Telford, and he kind of told me, he's like, it's not a big deal. I waited till somebody else showed up, and like, he was so good about it. And I quit, and kind of just took a little time to just get back on my feet, like get to eating better, and, get on some better vitamins or whatever I needed to just level myself out.
Because there's no cure for Lyme disease, is there? I'm not real familiar
they say
with it.
there's some, stuff you can try or whatever, but no, there's no cure. Yeah.
Just manage it for the rest of your life.
And I mean, diet and what you do, and, are such a big thing, and how you live your life, and,
Yeah, for sure. So how long were you at Jake Telford's?
I was at Jake's for 7 months. And it was kind of like a big devastating moment for me. Like, I just moved my whole life here, and I sold everything, and like I got here, and I can't do it. Like, it was like just such a big kick while I was down. Like, I just gave up. Like, but it wasn't fair to Jake to have me there when I couldn't make it work. Like, I'd had a couple lung infections, and just like, I just couldn't keep it together, not being on my own schedule.
Yeah.
And I kind of took a break right there, and ended up leasing a place, and took the couple that I'd had at Jake's, and I got a couple outside horses, and stayed there for about a year. And then the place for renting, like, I could ride in the summer just on the ditch bank or whatever, and I didn't have anywhere in the winter to ride. And Scott Winfrey was very nice enough to rent me his winter facility, his nice indoor, just to haul in. Yeah, it was super nice. And I so appreciated Scott. He was so good to me, and let me haul in there, and I would haul, a load of horses a day and go ride. And Scott was great. And then I bought this place. I actually bought a place before this, but it was just kind of a fixer-upper, and we flipped it and kind of made a little money on it. And then, but I looked for this place for 3 years. With the money I'd sold my place for in Alturas, like, I wanted to reinvest it, but clearly money in Alturas was not worth anything to what money is worth here.
Right.
Like, it was like, wow, like, how am I supposed to sell that place and buy something here? And before the market skyrocketed about 6 years ago, I found this place, and I'm like, I want it. Like, God, this is it. Like, I'm going to buy this place. Mm-hmm. So I bought this place.
It's a great location.
It just seemed like I was close enough to the freeway that people were going to come, and I'm close enough off the 95, people are going to pull in. But if you don't know I'm here, you would never know it's here.
You would never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tucked back. You got trees surrounding your place. And it's on a road that doesn't get much traffic by any means. And
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, I actually lived at the other end of this road.
Did you really?
When I was 19.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So when I was coming out here the first time, I was like, wow, this is like a trip down memory lane. Holy mackerel.
I know exactly where I'm going when you said Echo.
Yeah. I was like, oh, really? I wonder which side of the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the other side of the road.
Oh, that's awesome.
Top of the hill there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a great place. I'm glad you got into it before prices got too crazy.
And no, me too. It was, I mean, if I had to do it over again now, I don't know if I could do it with the price of things.
It's expensive out there.
Like, it just kind of was one of those things, like, the stars kind of aligned, like, this place was available, and I had looked at so many places, and when you pull into a place, you're like, ugh, like, I want to like it, but I just don't like it. I pulled in here, and it was a cornfield, and they just cut all the corn, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I can't see it right now, but like, this is it.
I know it in my heart.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought this place, and it was the best thing I did moving up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your fencing, I mean, the arena you guys put together and stuff is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, you were nice enough to let me take pictures of all your stuff when I was building some stuff on my property. So yeah. You guys did a great job.
Well, thank you.
And Jared is pretty handy with that stuff, isn't he?
Not Jared.
Not Jared.
No, it was somebody else.
From
my past, Tyler. We kind of moved up here together, and we built this whole place together.
Oh, cool.
Tyler ran a fencing business, and I paid for all the materials, and we built this place together. I can do everything but weld. I thought learning how to weld would be such a bad idea to know how to do.
Well, and on this drill pipe, it's not like welding
Yeah.
good clean pipe. Like,
No.
because I help my husband at home building this stuff too, and I can do all of it except
Yeah,
for the weld,
except weld.
especially on this pipe.
Yeah.
That stuff is terrible.
Oh, and
to
it gets
weld.
dirty and it gets magnetic and it's just not fun. But no, like I had bought this place and he had kind of told me, he goes, if you buy the material, like I will help you build it. And we built most of the place. Like I've added on a few things in the meantime, but most of everything here we built together.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, that arena is beautiful, nice and big too.
Yeah. Yep.
It's perfect. And then when you were building here, you were living out here too, right?
Yep. So when we first bought the place, it was just a cornfield. So we dug a well. We ran the well off a generator for the first couple years. Money was tight for me, so I was trying to figure out how to do it on my own. And we bought a camper, and we lived in a camp trailer. And then we ended up selling the camper to so I could buy more pipe for the facility. And we bought a steel container, and I have lived in a container for 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah. The first 3 years here, basically. Yeah.
You can always tell a true horse person when the horses have a nicer
Yeah.
house than
Yeah.
the owner.
I just always told myself, I'm like a house isn't going to make money. So like I have to build everything that comes first that makes money. And if I can build a facility, like then I can make money off of that. That's going to build something else. But the house ain't it.
No, process. Yeah, unless you plan on selling it, it's not
No.
going to make any money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's great, and I've always kind of been that way myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my mom tells me like all these stories that like when I was logging trees, like she roughed it so much to save money to buy a ranch on her own and lived in old mining claims with no electricity or nothing. And I'm like, God, you're tough. Like that at least has electricity and a shower in it. Like I can't imagine not having electricity or a shower.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, I lived in old mining claims and chicken coops and like whatever I could find, like just kept the wind out. And I'm like, yeah, you're way tougher than I'll ever be. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and now look at you though. Now you own
Yeah.
2 properties in 2
Yeah.
different states.
Yeah.
Right?
I still don't own a house, but I do own 2 properties. Yeah.
And with great horse
With
facilities.
great
on
horse
them.
facilities. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The pictures you posted of your place in Arizona this summer, I was like, or this winter, I was like, wow, you're building the same type of beautiful
I'm
arena.
so excited. Like
so pretty.
Things have been a little different this go around, and I'm having Rob Webb Fencing is building my facility down there, and he's done an outstanding job. And he's also a good friend. So like, it's been good. Like I'm glad I could help him. He helped me, and he's building a great place. So it's way funner when you can pay somebody to do it.
Oh man.
Gosh, it's
Yeah.
like you just pull it and you're like, God, look at all the progress.
Oh,
yeah.
Someday I'll know what that feels like.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Oh, but like that place down there, like I'm super excited. We've rented places the last 4 years, and nobody wants to rent a place. Like it's hard, like, and not being set up for what I need to do exactly to where this place is going to be set up for what I need to do.
Yes.
And so I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just probably a little easier to find roping ground and roping
Yes.
arenas down there than it is
Yes.
probably cow horse ground. I would
Yeah.
think.
The rain cow horse deal is there's just not enough down there yet, but I think
It's
there'll be
growing.
more coming. Yeah.
Growing. I mean, I know of several people just here in the Treasure Valley that are working on building places
Yep.
down there right now.
Well, no different than building a place here. Like at the end of the day, like it was still going to be cold to go outside. Like I still have to figure out somehow how to build a 20 stall barn, which I don't have the funds for, and an indoor to where that was cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, unless you go just like cover all. I mean, an indoor
Yeah.
arena's $1 million. I mean, I don't even know.
I mean, they quoted me basically $500,000 to cover my cutting pen.
A cutting pen.
A cutting pen, and I was like, wow, like okay, I can do that, but I still don't have a barn. And so when people show up and it's muddy, like it's not attractive, to where nobody wants their horse in that. But, you go down to Arizona, you don't have to have a barn. Like, so it rains a couple days. Cool. You don't do nothing. You go to town, you have,
The
a
horses
couple
get a
days
couple
off.
rest days
Yeah.
and-
It's
yeah.
no big deal. They have shelters. Like, it's fine. But you don't need a barn for when it's 10 degrees outside and muddy.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited for you. That's gonna be really fun. Yeah.